Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Wellness Blueprint. I'm Jess Milner. I'm so glad you're here to nourish your roots with me. I'm a master nutritionist, functional blood work specialist, and quantum energy healer. And today I want to talk about this time of year where when the sun is hiding. So it's that time again when the days get shorter and your mood starts to get lower and your vitamin D starts to tank. But there's so much that you can do to help to keep your light strong. Okay. So, basically, you got a reality check here because for vitamin D, you can't you can't synthesize it if you are living like above, I think it's like what the 37 degrees latitude, like that lot. You can't if you live above that. So like anywhere north of like St. Louis in America, you cannot synthesize vitamin D from just the sun during this time of year because the angle that it's coming, it's just not going to happen. It's not strong enough. It's not going to do it. The UVB rays don't hit the skin in the right way, and that's it. Okay. So during fall, especially late fall into winter. So, I think it's at least until sometime in February in most places that you would even have like a ghost of a chance of being able to absorb any of that. So, while we absorb it so wonderfully, during the summer and everything, here we are. And, I kind of thought like, I was like, I think I want to do a podcast on this because today we are having what is like our last like sunny day for the foreseeable future here in North Idaho. It was sunny, still not absorbing. We're not like making any vitamin D today, but it's sunny out. And then we're going to have rain and clouds and moving into mixes and then snow and everything in the next couple of weeks. So I was like, kids, get outside. So I thought about it and I was like, this is that time of year, it's getting darker earlier. I was just on the phone with my girlfriend back east and it is fully dark where she is. And you can see the sun, the light is still on my face here. But we have a lot of seasonal depressions and things like that. And part of that is because we throw everybody into it by falling back and then springing forward and stuff. And if we were eased into it a little bit easier from summer, it wouldn't be quite such a smack in the face. But here we are. So, it's how it is, right? So vitamin D, it supports your mood. It supports your immunity. Hormones, hello, hormone balance, okay? It's also good for your bone strength, your nervous system regulation, your brain. I mean, we need vitamin D, and low levels. I mean, you start to get tired. You got fatigue, you got brain fog, you're getting every cold and flu that comes near you. You got the seasonal blues. You pretty much hate everybody, and you're very slow to recover. So you're just like, this sucks, right? But there are some ways that we can work through this, okay? Because like this time of year comes every year. So, unless you are moving to Florida or somewhere where the sun doesn't do this every year, my hair is a big mess today. Unless you're living in a place like that or visiting a place like that quite often, you're probably not getting your dose of your vitamin D. So, what can we do? So there are some food sources. They will help support, but they certainly don't replace sunlight because sunlight, synthesizing vitamin D through sunlight exposure is actually the main way that we get vitamin D. Okay. But again, we're talking about that not being an option right now. So for foods, got to start at the top with fatty fish. Of course, you got salmon, mackerel, sardines, lots of vitamin D, and it's full of good fats in there too. Because remember, vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin, so you do want to have fat with it. And most foods that you're going to find it in are going to have some of that in there. Another good one is egg yolks or just eggs. Of course, there's plenty of good fats in there as well. There's some good protein in there as well. Same thing for the salmon and sardines if you're the fish, of course. But you're going to get some good. You're gonna end up with some good support for vitamin D in those. Mushrooms is another good one, especially the ones that are UV exposed. So the ones like portobello, cremini, shiitake, those usually have some UV exposure. So they're going to have pulled in a little bit more of that. So those are good to add in. We actually had some of those in our dinner last night. And so you could have some, there are some fortified things, milk and like different plant milks and stuff are fortified. The synthetic versions of the vitamin D, I mean, it is what it is this time of year. I would think that synthetic is probably better than nothing at all, depending on what your situation is during the winter. Okay. So there could be some other options for you, but nevertheless, it is an option. And then, grass fed butter and ghee and stuff like that. Okay. So, and like I did mention, that it's fat soluble. So, if you're having mushrooms or something, make sure that you have some like avocado oil or olive oil or something like that with it, so that you can absorb it better. So, the next thing, of course, we're going to talk about is going to be supplementation because that is another option for this time of year. So there's a lot of nuance out there on whether or not it's okay to supplement or not. This is going to be a personal choice between you and your practitioner. It's going to depend on what it is, what the supplement is and everything like that, because there are differences between the supplements, but you want a D3 that's cholecalciferol. That's going to be the best bioavailable form for you. And make sure that it also has K2 with it because you need the K2 with it in there so that your body can properly use the calcium. Okay. And that's going to protect your arteries because we don't want to make things worse. Okay. So if you are going to take a supplement for it, please reach out if you don't have a practitioner that can give you a really bomb diggity one because there are some really craptastic ones out there and I don't want people taking craptastic ones. So even if you don't reach out to me, reach out to a practitioner. I mean, I got the sauce. I've got it. I've got great ones. My favorite, I've got my favorites, but there are different options and everything. So please reach out because I'll help you get hooked up with a good one. Whatever you do, please, I'm begging you, don't buy supplements on Amazon. I mean, Amazon literally put out a thing saying that they cannot guarantee that what you're getting in the bottle is actually what the bottle says it's going to be, because most of the time it's not those companies that are selling it, it's somebody else selling it. And I will tell you, people do go into to clinics and they steal things and then they sell them. I had a colleague in New Jersey, she had somebody break in to her clinic, caught on camera. I don't know if they worked for the building or something like that, but they broke in. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they went for all the cell core supplements, and they nabbed them all, and they have like a black market kind of a thing going on. And sometimes they're altering those so that they can make them different. I mean, I've seen people purchase like even standard process things are, they're like, oh, I bought this bottle of this, or I bought this bottle of this on Amazon, and they open up the bottle. And I'm like, that's not the color that the capsules are. That's white. And the product that you want is brown. So like, I don't know what that is, but I wouldn't put it in my mouth. So please use caution, get them from a reputable source. Like I said, it doesn't have to be from me, but I urge you, if you don't know how to do this properly, check out your girl because I got you. All right. So another thing, as far as supplementation, it is helpful if you've had testing done. So if you had a blood test to see, what your vitamin D levels are, they tell you, doctors will say anything over 20 or 30. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like barely hanging on by a thread. I want to see it at 70, 80, but yeah, 70 to 80 is going to be ideal so that everything is working as awesomely as it can be. And it's showing that, your body is able to do the things that it's supposed to be doing. So that can be a helpful thing there too. But I mean, now there are certain things that happen this time of year. If you feel fatigued, you feel the brain fog, you feel the depression. I mean, it's okay. Adding in some vitamin D is going to be a good thing. Now there are some other things that we can do that are not necessarily supplements or food. And some of these things are going to be more accessible than other things. So, we've got like light therapy, lamps. Okay. So they've got, it mimics natural sunlight. It's basically like a tanning bed or like a, light apparatus for your house. I have a friend that had one out here that she said that she was using, that they would use in the wintertime specifically for vitamin D purposes. So you use it for like, 15 to 20 minutes. It can help you out in the morning or something like that, help improve your mood, help improve your energy. And can be great for immunity and things like that. So, not everybody has access to that. I wouldn't mind having one in my house, but I haven't reached out to that part yet. Another one is red light therapy. So this is a really growing popular modality, and it is absolutely wonderful for so many things. This was one of my favorite ones when I was still in Jersey working clinically because we had a red light therapy in the clinic. So I would show up a half an hour or something. Yeah, I would show up before I was going to be seeing patients, or I would stay later after I was done. And just kind of hang out in there for a little while, because it really is great. It supports your mitochondria, so you're gonna have cellular repair. You're gonna get cellular energy, and it really works on your mood balance. So there's so many benefits to red light therapy. So that's just scraping the surface, right? So in addition to these things that are going to help us, support our own production or, intake of vitamin D, just actual movement is going to be very supportive as well, because, it's going to help to support and boost your lymphatic system. Lymphatic system doesn't have a pump, you got to kind of get it moving and everything. So it's really going to help with things, with immunity and everything. So, taking a walk, doing like some yoga, different stretches, Tai Chi or something like that, things that are going to get you moving around and moving, like a lymphatic massager, if you know the different things to do, starting here and here, and with getting your lymphatic system to start moving in the morning and everything, tapping on everything like wakey, wakey, it's time to work today, talk to yourselves, you're the boss, talk to yourselves. So that is another one that you can do. And that is, it's going to help because when everything is flowing better, when everything is flowing better, your energy is flowing better, you're going to do better with your vitamin D levels and your mood and your immunity and all that. And, if you're getting sick all the time, that's really not going to help your mood, right? Whew, no fun. So of course, grounding is going to be another one. Now, of course, grounding, going outside barefoot when there's snow outside does not sound super fun. I have done it before though. So I had a friend of mine tell me, oh, great way to go ahead and get grounded outside, even when it's snowing. So I took a pot of boiling water outside and poured it, in an area that was kind of like under a tree. I think it was actively snowy. So I had my coat on and everything, but poured the hot water there. So the snow all melted down. And then I took off my shoes and put my feet right there on a bunch of pine needles. And it was nice and warm there. So it felt warm. And I was able to stand there for 15, 20 minutes before, like, the area was just too cold. And then I put my shoes back on and walked back through the snow inside. So, any exposure like that, nature exposure, go outside, hug a tree, go for a snowy walk, whatever, whatever you should do, go collect some beautiful leaves. You can do some leaf print thing, whatever it is you want to do. Any kind of nature exposure calms your nervous system, and that's going to be helpful. So I encourage that. All right. And I gotta tie in the energetic and spiritual nutrition part of this. Okay. So the sun is a life force. Okay. Literally, it is a life force. Our planet, our solar system would not exist without it. The life on our planet would not exist without it. We need sunshine. Every living thing, needs sunshine. Most living things need sunshine. I think there's a couple that don't need sunshine. Most living things do need sunshine. Okay. So it is a life force. It is something that is important for us to have. And when it is hidden, like, it's, it's here, but sort of, she hiding. We need to create light within. We need to create light within. So you can do a visualization, or you can do a meditation. But you can close your eyes and imagine pulling a light right into your solar plexus, your personal power. Okay. Your joy. Just imagine bringing it in, visualize that light, and it just comes right straight towards you. And you can ask, where in my life do I need to bring in warmth and sunshine and blessings and brightness? Where in my life am I lacking that? And just breathe in and bring in that light right into that spot. So there's also some, okay, this is fun. So there are foods that hold solar energy. So some of the foods that we eat this time of year that we've been talking about for, the season and everything would be oranges, turmeric, ginger, squash, pumpkins. And those foods literally help us absorb light energetically. So the more that we eat with the season, the more we're going to be absorbing the goodness of what we need for the season, the things that we need to support for the season. So when we eat seasonally, we are supported for the things that we're going to go through during that time. Because, we have less sunlight. It's, the sun is further away. It's cold out. So when we eat seasonally, then we are equipping ourselves with a lot of the tools that we need to be able to take care of all that head on, we're just gonna handle it all head on, and it's gonna be totally fine. It's just gonna be super helpful there. So keep eating those keep eating that seasonal diet because there's so many reasons why you need to eat a seasonal diet. At least somewhat. I mean, it's okay if you you're craving strawberries in January. I get it. I do that too because it's my birthday in that month. But one year, my one of my girlfriends gave me some strawberries that were local that she had frozen over the summer. So we made a cake out of that, and I'll tell you that cake treated my body better than the other ones would have. So, but anyway, we want to absorb the light energetically through our food. We want to be able to um, add a brightness, and create a light within, and then go out and share that joy outside of us. And you're going to have your good days and your bad days, and other people are going to have their good days and bad days. And it's nice to be somewhat of a light in the darkness. And, even when the sun hides, your body knows how to make light. So feed it and move it and let yourself glow from the inside out. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Please share this with anybody who has been dealing with any seasonal depression or has been thinking about adding in vitamin D or different ways to do that. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss an episode. And if you would like to grab my Quantum Path to Wellness, go ahead to go.deeprootedwellnessid.com/quantum-path. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. That's my free gift to you. So thank you so much for stopping by today. Enjoy the season however you can. Have a nice fire. Sit by the fire tonight if you need to. Warm up if you need to. And thank you so much for stopping by. Stay healthy, everybody.